Our victory over the Exarchs came at great cost. Quill and Claw, our lost knight was a true hero. We will not forgive, and we will not forget. I do not know which lock the Shadow plans to poke with the key he stole, but we will help you stop him. Yes, you are as much a member of this court as any crow. Our swift wings and keen eyes are at your disposal. Find the Shadow of Sotha Seal, claim the key he stole, and avenge my Knight of Marrow.
You look haggard. What happened in there? The skeleton key? Nocturnal's key? Damn it. I always suspected, but hoped it wasn't true. That key is a trans-dimensional artifact of unimaginable power. We have to get it back. The Omnivox alarm. Slag it! Someone's breaching the Cognitum Centralis. I have to get back to the Basilica. Meet me there!
Capable combatants needed for hazardous work. Please respond for more information.
You have no right to treat me like this. I'm a member of House Lalu, and I demand to speak to someone.
What part of sealed don't you understand? The Shadow put a hex on the lift. Perhaps if we had the key you managed to lose?
Here we go again. I told you before, Lord Set would never allow the skeleton key to enter the city. There must be another explanation.
Well, by all means, explain it to me. Just be sure to use small words. I wouldn't want you to strain yourself.
You arrived just in time. I don't know how much more of Devaith and Varuni's bickering I could take. It's as I feared. The Shadow breached the Cognitum Centralis, Lord Set's seat of power. If it reaches the core, if it removes Lord Set from the throne aligned, we can't let that happen. You should steel yourself for the battles ahead. You arrived... It's as I feared. We arrived too late. As soon as the Shadow of Sotha Seal claimed the skeleton key, it slithered into the fundament and sealed all the doors leading to the Cognitum Centralis. Fear and Varuni tried to break the seal. You can see how that turned out. None. Lord Set designed the Cognitum to be virtually impenetrable. Even so, these whispering shadow cultists move through the city unhindered. I don't know how. Perhaps if we discover how they navigate the city, we can use that against them. I crossed staves with an Argonian mage once. He could leap through shadows, crossing long distances in seconds. Maybe that's the answer? Shadow portals of some kind? We need more information, inside perspective. I have an idea. Full disclosure, you may find this eerie. I suspected that Gascoigne's brain might contain some useful information, so I ordered a factotum to mine it. Speak to the Clockwork clinician in the East Wing. Maybe it found something. Only what I read in the Imperial histories as a student. Our libraries don't carry any literature on Daedra or their relics. I argued against the ban, but the Congress wouldn't budge. They don't understand how dangerous these creatures can be. Daedric princes litter the world with profane relics, artifacts meant to corrupt or ensorcel the greedy and weak-minded. Hermaeus Mora offers a book. Periite grants a shield. Nocturnal is more generous. She provides a mask, a bow, and a key. Exactly. Scholars say the key can open any lock, regardless of its complexity. Some say it can unlock gates to other worlds, or even open metaphorical doors. I don't need to tell you how dangerous that power could be. I think it may go even deeper than that. Lord Set modified himself extensively over the centuries. I think the Shadow may try to unlock Sotha Seal himself. Yes, it's an incredibly useful procedure. One of our apostles created the anamnesic extractor to act as a kind of cognitive therapy for residents struggling with depression or suicidal thoughts. The results were mixed. Only in cases where the deceased requests it, or when a traitor tries to sell out the city to Daedra. You did kill him for that, remember? This is the surest route to the truth. We can debate medical ethics after we've prevented the apocalypse. The heart of the Clockwork City, Lord Set's seat of power. He spends his periods of seclusion there. Sculpting the future, as the saying goes. Very few mortals have ever stepped foot inside. Once, and only for a moment. Truthfully, I didn't enter with a pious heart. A story for another time. All I can tell you is the Cognitum exists at the center of, well, everything. It's the axle that spins the wheel. You'll see, soon enough. He has to be. If he were on Artaeum, the city would be locked in slumbering mode. Less light, slower manufacturing, reductions in factotum services. But everything hums and cranks as it should. He is definitely here, and his shadow knows it.
Why must I always surround myself with soft-headed zealots? Why? Oh, come now, I don't mean you. I'm talking about Varuni. Pity. I really quite liked her before she started talking. Your gentle friend suffers from some very serious delusions. The Shadow managed to seal every entrance to the mechanical fundament, and, by extension, every entrance to the Cognitum Centralis, Sotha Seal's inner sanctum. Honestly, I have no idea. I tried to reach out and get some sense of it through Psijic projection, but I found nothing. Just a cold lack. I hesitate to admit it, but this Shadow's magic is beyond my ken. Talk to Luciana. She's been remarkably quiet throughout this whole ordeal. She may have a plan.
Guard! Intruder! Guard!
By the gears, this Devaith fear is just insufferable. Honestly, how do you put up with it? Just arguing for the most part. Lord Fear has a difficult time with constructive criticism. The Shadow locked us out of the Cognitum Centralis. Instead of exploring sensible mechanical alternatives, Fear's been firing off destructive spells. Of course not. And what's worse, he's spitting out all kinds of blasphemous conspiracy theories. That kind of talk doesn't serve anyone. Something about the skeleton key? I told him, Daedric artifacts can't enter the city. It did? That doesn't make any sense. Daedric artifacts are profane illusions. Sotha Seal would never let something like that into the city. I just need to think. Go, talk to Luciana. I think she might have a plan.
I don't buy it. It would take an army to break into the Cognitum Centralis, and we've seen no sign of attack. Probably a wayward skeevaton clogging the vents again.
The factotums didn't even flinch at the alarm. Just going about their duties. I aspire to such efficiency.
By Set's will, I am bound. Greetings, resident. What do you require? Reflecting. Permissions registered. I completed the cognitive archival process, and data retention is within acceptable parameters. Unfortunately, my current talk plug storage quantity equals 0. It must equal 1 for vocal emulation to proceed. Malfunctioning skeevatons often appropriate tools and components from this chamber. You may wish to search the eastern quarter of the fortress. Skeevatons often accumulate there and place reclaimed scrap in piles. I apologize for the inconvenience.
We must remain rational until we know more.
Slag it! I still feel like I should be doing something to help. Slag it!
How could an enemy slip right under our noses?
You have no right to treat me like this. I'm a member of House Lalu, and I demand to speak to someone.
Your house. Ah, yes, I remember. The Great Houses. The antiquated hierarchy of authority which the Dark Elves chain themselves with.
What? I won't take this disrespect. Show me to someone of authority, now!
Do you truly believe that is the way of things here?
Do as I say, you skeever!
Reflecting. Reflecting.
Wait, what are you doing now?
I am a factotum, not a large rodent.
What?
A skeever is a large rodent. I am not a large rodent. Excess corrosion detected. Maintenance required. Temperature variance detected. detected. Documenting.
Just do as I say, you skeever!
Reflecting. Reflecting.
Wait, what are you doing now?
I am a factotum, not a large rodent.
What?
A skeever is a large rodent. I am not a large rodent.
You have no right to treat me like this. I'm a member of House Lalu, and I demand to speak to someone.
Your house.
May my labors please the Clockwork God. Welcome back, resident. Your permissions remain active. What do you require? False assertion. This is not a top plug. Fortunately, I located a top plug in a Nemo crate outside my immediate visual range. Your assistance, while appreciated, is no longer required. Please ask the deceased resident your questions.
Resident Corpse Gascon Dusant, memory outlay primed. Submit query. Assembling summary. Subheading Whispering Shadows. Subheading Movement. Subheading Clockwork City. Cultists use gloaming gates, pools of darkness that channel Nocturnal's power. They serve as portals to many places, including Evergloam. Assembling response. Subject Evergloam. The twilight plane of oblivion peopled by nocturnal shrikes, phantoms, and beastly simulacra. Passing through Evergloam allows cultists to travel great distances without detection. Accessing Vigio's spatial memory. Mapping complete. 2 gates exist in the radius. 1 west, 1 east. Hidden in cave networks controlled by whispering shadows. These gates may not allow passage to the uninitiated. Incomplete data.
Tell me you have something. Gates, of course. My apostles ran down a few rumors about cultists building strange basins on the periphery of the radius, but we never found any of them. How do these gates work? So we'll use the cultists' own pathways against them. Makes sense. Can't say I have any desire to fight my way through a plane of oblivion, but we don't have much of a choice, do we? Did Gascon say where they built these gates? And we have no way to know which will get us to our destination faster. Let's split up. I'll take the western gate, you take the east. Try to navigate the Evergloam. I'll do the same. Hopefully one of us will make it to the Cognitum in time.
You're here! Gates closed! Closed! Let me help you with that. Crow friend, I am glad I found you. Just let me, catch my breath. The Duke of Crows sent us far and wide looking for you. My wings ache from the efforts. Ache! You wish to use the gloaming gates, yes? Well, only crows and shrikes and silly cultists can use them. The mistress keeps them locked. Yes, you need a crow's cunning to use these things. Now, in you go. I will come with you to help you find our brave knight's murderer. You must kill the shadow of the clock god. Kill him, then we'll pick the bones clean. The metal woman. Ah, we help her too, but only because we know you'd be cross if we did not. We think she is stupid and ugly, but a friend of our crow friend is sort of a friend of the Duke's. Sort of. Now, no more talking. Into the gate. Go! Yes, this is it. Everglow. Follow me. Left, Featherless! Always left! Gate's closed! Closed! You'll have to find another way round.
Do your worst, Night Hag. You'll get nothing from me.
Interlopers. No, I will not be interrupted.
Thank you. I'm unaccustomed to being captured. A Shrike captain wouldn't defend just any gate. This must lead back to the city. Follow me. I recognize this place. These are the tunnels that lead to the Coggitum. Looks like the factotums put up a fight when the shadow came through. Not enough, it seems. There, the Shadow's ward. Liquid shadows. Some kind of nocturnal blight. I've never seen the like. Wait, I remember. Lord Set taught me a spell long ago. He said it would guide me through the darkness one day. I couldn't find a use for it then. But now... Yes, he said that logic and wisdom would part the shadows of doubt. It worked! How could he have known? Never mind. Meet me at the entrance to the Coggitum. We have work to do. I don't often admit surprise, but I'll be candid. That was one of the weirdest journeys of my life. And I've lived a very, very long time. With the shadow barrier removed, we can move freely between the Brass Fortress and the Coggitum again. Now we have a Daedric prince to thwart and a god to save. I hope you're ready. I don't often admit... With the shadow... Tighten that armor and sharpen your weapons. Entering the Coggitum Centralis can prove deadly on the best of days. This is far from the best of days. Beyond whatever Daedric horrors the Shadow left in its wake, the Coggitum shifted into its strongbox configuration as soon as the alarm sounded. So now we have to contend with inaccessible platforms, hostile factotums, unleashed fabricants. You know I don't put much stock in hope. Sotha Seal prepares for every conceivable eventuality, but the Shadow is Sotha Seal. It's difficult to create countermeasures for yourself. We can't count on Sotha Seal. This task falls to us. Are you ready? The Shadow's got to be approaching the throne by now. We have to hurry! Just as I suspected. The defense system locked down the bridge. Slag it! I can use this terminal to unlock it, but the alarm cut the power. Looks like it has 2 charging junctions. I need you to find 2 core pumps. Can you do that? One other thing. There's a master factotum down here called...
Greetings. I am Ios. Please be advised. The sacred Cognitum Centralis is currently sealed. I kindly encourage you to exit the Cognitum immediately. Thank you for your compliance.
Not going to happen, Ios.
Beginning entity analysis. Error. Entity exists outside known POSA points. Transitioning to general reception array. Hello. I am Ios, the Automata Incarnum Overseer System. Master Seal created me to maintain and supervise the substrata operations of Clockwork City. This partition can provide answers to Class 7 queries only. Thank you for your understanding. Assessing threats to Master Seal. Dreaming. Open window. Sunlight through glass. Threat analysis prepared. Prospect Numidium. Negative. Prospect Almalexia. Negative. Prospect Erasure. Negative. No existential threat detected. Accessing privatized threat array. Dreaming. Knee abrasion. Lullaby. Threat located. Nocturnal. Urdra. Unfathomable mistress of shadows. Prospect registered. Risk level moderate. Thank you for your concern. Motive evaluation complete. Non-hostile intent confirmed. Assistance threshold increased 20%. I can now provide advice and analysis. A manual override is required to proceed. Lower automata still adhere to trespass protocols. Use caution.
Well done. Now all I need to do is... There, the bridge is clear. I disabled the emergency protocol. It won't shut down the Corps' defenses, but we shouldn't find our path blocked like this again.
Admonition. Many of Master Seal's defenses still conform to Strongbox protocols. Risk of severe laceration, incineration, and/or disintegration remains high.
Thanks for the advice. More shadows, even thicker than before. Damn. The shadow banishing spell I used on the lift overtaxed my nerve junctions. We need to find another way through. Try throwing that switch. I see something. Some kind of light burning away the corruption. A lamp, like the one you used to expose the shadow. Another switch. Try it out. When Sotha Sil saved me, he said I would shine a light one day. Could this be... Questions for another time. Let's keep moving.
Follow me, are you? Brave and foolish.
More shadows. Let's hope Sotha Sil had the foresight to install those lamps here too.
Managed to ban it? Then, relish the victory while you can. It will take more than lamps to keep me from the throne aligned.
Transitioning to detection state 12. Stand by.
Should be thanked. If you only knew the things Sotha Sil was capable of, you'd want to kill him too.
0 threats registered. Idling.
nether gate. Damn, we've got to
Lens
find the
rotation
release.
in progress. Greetings. This partition governs all Axel operations and gate controls. How can I assist you? Evaluating access petition. Dreaming. Raindrops on glass. Wood smoke. Access granted. Please make swift progress to the throne room. Daedric corruption detected.
I will unlock this fool from the throne and claim what's mine.
Using the skeleton key to unseat the real Sotha seal. We
I
cannot
see
let it get
I'll have
inside
to
that
deal with you permanently to complete my task. No matter. Come then. Face the darkness.
We have to break the link. What are you doing?
Never mind where I came from. I'm keeping Seal alive, you ungrateful shrew. We can't let the shadow escape.
Just hurry. I can't hold the light for long.
Even now, at the end, you bicker. How predictable.
Here! Nocturnal!
Why do you struggle so? Do you not see that it's hopeless? Sleep now. Give in to the dark.
I can't hold it much longer! Get up, comrade! You have to turn the skeleton key! Now!
I will not yield! Go, friend! Do as Fear says! Unlock the throne! Free Sotha seal!
The Clockwork City shall bear your weight no longer. Be gone.
You achieve nothing, little godling. The Triad lose upon Somerset shores. All that is shall be ours.
Well done, my friend. Oh, enough theatrics, Luciana. On your feet. Luciana?
We should return to the surface. This is no place for mortals. The prisoner. At last. You are early. Or perhaps late. It makes little difference. I'm glad you've come. Tamriel owes you a debt. Restored, yes. I reclaimed my shadow, and with it, knowledge of what transpired and what's to come. But those calculations will keep. I owe you a boon. Service, like all equations, demands precise reciprocity. I wonder, what would you ask of me? Altruism, a rare trait. Luciana will die. If not here and now, then elsewhere and later. I can delay her death if you wish, but to what end? Consider carefully. Luciana means a great deal to me, but grief cannot be avoided, only deferred. Ask and you shall have it. It is done. The recalibration may take some time, but the Proctor will make a full recovery. I know she will put this gift to good use. Please, take this as well. A token from my personal collection. It is and always has been yours. Strange. I spent lifetimes here in the world of tangible forms, but each time I emerge from the throne, it's like I'm seeing it for the first time. Broken, impoverished, beautiful. It seems I must delay my work for a time. When I reclaimed my shadow, I learned a great deal. Daedric plots, alliances and betrayals, the return of things lost in time, the loss of things the world thought certain. I have much to do. In the short term, I need Vaith Fear. He took his leave to attend to matters outside my fortress. I wish to speak with both of you in a more private setting. Please find Fear, and then meet me at the elegiac replication. We will speak in time. First, find Vaith Fear. I wish for both of you to meet me at the elegiac replication, a memorial south of here. Our discussion should be away from prying eyes and ears, even those of my own people. You will find her in her retreat here in the Basilica. My factotums tend to her wounds even as we speak. Of course, you already know how this will end. I hope that knowledge brings you some measure of peace.
Set. So the seal. Is he... Thank the gears. The people. My people. They're safe. He knew. He knew this would happen. He said I would shine a light one day. Do you see? Everything built to this. Everything. Every battle, every sorrow. It finally makes sense. You asked him that? After all the impatience I showed you, the bad temper? I guess I shouldn't be surprised. I've never met a more altruistic soul. Still, I'm not sure even Sotha Seal could save me this time. I feel it in my bones. This is how I end. Perhaps you're right. You know, I asked Sotha Seal to spare someone close to me long ago. He refused. Now I see. I understand. I'll try to make your choice mean something. You have my word.
I can't stand seeing her like this. I always thought Luciana was, I don't know, indestructible. How could this happen? And the strain was too much. Yes, I've heard. I just thought with you there, and Lord Set as well, I guess every spring comes unwound eventually, no matter how strong. Do you think she'll live? You what? And Lord Set granted you this boon? I'm sorry. I shouldn't seem so shocked. You've done nothing but struggle and sacrifice for us since you arrived. Thank you, my friend. With Luciana healed, the Clockwork City will flourish. I'll remain here a while longer. I should stay at her side at least until the factotum shares its test results. We'll meet again soon, I'm sure.
Response time within acceptable parameters.
Ah, my erstwhile companion. You look remarkably coherent. Most mortals caught in a Daedric tempest would suffer some lasting effects. I'm impressed. Baffled, but impressed. Already? I expected him to wait at least a week before summoning me. Seal's concept of time bears only a faint resemblance to our own. You should set out. I'll be along shortly. You didn't, though. Bully for you. In truth, I sought an alternate route to the throne, through the Everglow. Unfortunately, Nocturnal detected my presence immediately. One of the few burdens of near-divine power. I'm difficult to miss. Trapped? No. Impeded, perhaps. Fortunately, Nocturnal's attention turned to you and the good Proctor when you defeated the Shadow. It gave me the opportunity to pinpoint the object of her fury. You. I followed her to the throne. The rest is history. Taking it all in, I suppose. Surely you won't begrudge me a moment of vulnerability. This place. It is something. I sense that I won't return anytime soon, if at all. When you've lived as long as I have, that actually starts to mean something. One can only marvel at a rival's triumphs for so long before that awe turns to resentment, and I have no time for petty jealousy. I have plans of my own, and countless realms to explore. I can't afford to linger anywhere for long.
By Set's will, I am bound to defend. Subroutines.
Thank you both for coming.
Of course, old friend. You seem troubled. More troubled than usual, I mean.
Receptive, as always. I do not wish to diminish your achievement, but Nocturnal's defeat here will be short-lived. What's more, she does not act alone. A third enemy looms at the edge of my sight. Their covetous eyes are now fixed on the Somerset Isles.
Then we should inform the rest of the Psijics. They'll need to prepare.
I will inform them personally. I have a separate task for you, Devaith. Take the skeleton key. Keep it hidden for as long as you can. I trust that this task pleases you? After all, your love of such trinkets is what brought you here in the first place.
Sometimes I wonder if you see too much. I will keep it safe.
Farewell, de Vaithfir. We will not meet again. I haven't visited this memorial for centuries, but even I need reminders every now and again. Do you like this place? It took me the better part of a decade to perfect it. Every stone and flower tells a story. Tales of how things were, how they ought to be. I thought about destroying it on more than one occasion. I'm glad I didn't. I know. Ask and I will answer truthfully. Just know that the truth often fails to satisfy. You expect something grand, but I promised you the truth. I am only what time and circumstance made me. Son of a lost house, friend to a fallen king. Some will tell you that we are the product of our choices. I've never found that to be the case. I am whatever the people need me to be. A guardian, an oppressor. For some, too distant. For others, too meddlesome. I am the canvas upon which they paint their dreams and resentments. A vessel for their hopes and doubts. A mirror, nothing more. I don't. But my companions, Vivek and Almalexia, see their divinity as essential. Godhood brings them joy and purpose. They find meaning in the theatrical. Who am I to deprive them of that? Almalexia defies symbol analysis. I doubt she could even describe herself accurately. To understand Almalexia, you must first understand the value of fiction. Vivek fancies himself the poet, but in truth, AM is the greater storyteller. Vivek knows the boundaries that separate fact from fiction. He knows them so well that he's learned how to break them. He exists inside his verse, but recognizes the lies, the contradictions. He both does and does not believe his own tales. She believes her tales implicitly, as does everyone else. Her capacity for deception appears limitless. She sows lies like a master gardener sows seeds, and the harvest of trust and adulation is breathtaking in scope. Not in the slightest. As I said, we are, all of us, bound by our nature. Almalexia does what she does because she cannot do otherwise. It will not end well. But then, even the best endings rarely bring joy. Vivek is my brother. He knows my struggles and I know his. That knowledge makes our relationship complicated. To truly know someone is as much a curse as it is a blessing. Regret. We are bound by that at least. He also suffers a kind of enslavement. Not unlike my own, in fact. Beauty holds the keys to his shackles. Beauty and a love of great works, great heights. His appetites are insatiable, thus his despair. Yes, a poet's despair. Vivek craves writable freedom, the death of all limits and restrictions. He wishes to be all things at all times. Every race, every gender, every hero, both divine and finite. But in the end, he can only be Vivek. Not even remotely. I sometimes ask myself the same thing. May I confess something to you? I suffer from a peculiar ailment. Shall I describe it? I bear the cruel weight of certainty. Total, absolute, relentless certainty. People rarely comprehend the luxury of doubt, the freedom that comes with indecision. I envy you. Indeed, but such questions are flaccid, cursory indulgences that come and go in an instant. The truth is that my actions, both good and evil, are inevitable, locked in time, determined by chains of action and consequence. Compelled. This city serves a noble goal, the redemption of Tamriel, the unification of competing forces, the destruction of the Daedra. Unfortunately, it is an endeavor built upon a lattice of corpses, betrayal, untold horrors. Do you understand? Maybe the word I covet above all others. Hold to that word, my friend, and never let go. I instructed Devaith to run from the battle that is to come. Now, I urge you to run toward it. Long ago I brokered a truce with the princes of Oblivion. This pact bound 8 princes to an oath that they would never again set foot on Tamriel. Nocturnal was not present when the princes signed the Cold Harbor Compact. Thus she flouts its restrictions. Now, this is important. Nocturnal does not act alone. 2 other princes lie in wait, Clavicus Vile and Mafala. Defeated? Forgive my candor, but Clavicus Vile cannot be defeated through force of arms. Neither can Mafala. I have preparations to make outside my Clockwork realm. You must stay vigilant. Take heed of any Daedric incursions and stand ready to fight. The prisoner wields great power, making reality of metaphor. We will need you before the end. A fool's hope, perhaps. I should explain. Look around you. All of this exists because it must exist. I stand here, in this place, in this moment, not because I wish to, but because I have to. A result of action and consequence. Clever, but incorrect. The prisoner must apprehend 2 critical insights. First, they must face the reality of their imprisonment. They must see the determinative walls, the chains of causality that bind them to their course. I have, but I fall short of the second insight. The prisoner must see the door to their cell. They must gaze through the bars and perceive that which exists beyond causality, beyond time. Only then can they escape. I see only unsteady walls. If the people of Tamriel must exist inside this cell, I will make sure that the walls are stable, the gaps are sealed, and all who remain stay safe within it. I've met few heroes like you. Very few. I take this matter of the Triad upon myself, but in truth, you may be the one that saves us. The prisoner who frees the world. We shall see. Farewell. I've met few.
He's gone, isn't he? I knew it. I never got to speak to him. Can you believe that? 100 years of loyal service and then, poof, gone. You know, I spent years rehearsing exactly what I would say. I stood in front of the mirror, saying it over and over. Lord Set, I stand before you as your loyal servant. Prayers of thanks, supplications, on and on. Now I have nothing but questions. Why do we study in the Basilica while people struggle in the streets? Why can't we have birds like the exodromals? How could Daedra break through our unbreakable walls? Why can't we leave? I did yesterday. Today, I'm not so sure. I have a lot of thinking to do, a lot of assumptions to challenge. Who knows? Maybe that's what Set wanted all along. I owe all this uncertainty to you. You have my gratitude, truly. Uncertainty feels liberating. The world's never seemed so open, so fresh, you know? I sense a new adventure just beginning. Thank you, my friend, and farewell. I think I'll visit the memorial for a while. It seems as good a place as any to be alone with my thoughts.